And really what I want to talk about with you, Juan Skowskis, is this a dynasty in the making? Because Mo Salah's not leaving. They thought he was going to go. Van Dijk's not leaving either. Thought he was going to go. With the solid base like that, this team is just, right now, can build on. They can just.
So they're projected to lose Darwin Núñez, which nobody cared, I guess, right? He didn't pan out how everybody thought.
Yeah.
Trent, I think he leaves.
It's pretty clear that
he hasn't signed anything. He hasn't signed or spoke to anybody.
You think you might do a reversal and stay? Yeah, that'd be
I thought
crazy.
hanging up the jersey on the corner was like a hang curtain call on his career at Liverpool. I don't know. Maybe he backtracks, winning this and then being like noticing.
I feel like there's a sense that the coach, which is really funny because I think when you transition a whole new management style, new people come in at the top, it 9 times out of 10 causes a little friction because it's like new tactics, new things, new this, new that. Arne Slot just slotted right in there, and it was just like Klopp never left. They kind of look stronger.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think they look better.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because Liverpool didn't have that great of a year. I can't even say that. Just because they finished 2 doesn't mean that.
I'm saying. Yeah.
No, look, Arne Slot did wonders with them. They're going to be on the market to buy a new forward, right?
Yeah.
To replace Darwin Núñez.
They got the money for it.
They have the money for it. They're going to look for a new right back.
People are going to want to come because they're winners right now.
And maybe bolster up the midfield with one more player, but they're kind of set, man.
Yeah.
But with that being said, they win their 20th league, tying Manchester United.
Right. So I think that ties into what I'm saying.
Does that make them now the same? I know Manchester United hasn't been good for years now, but they're still tier of what they won and all that stuff. Yeah. Is Liverpool now at the same tier they are? They're S tier, if you will.
If you're ranking it based on trophies won, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't they be? I think Manchester United, not now, but they just had a better PR campaign. It was just, they had a better, look at us and look at our players, and they knew how to market their players. If you think about when they were balling, all their players were super mega stars. So it's kind of that's why they have that thing, even though Liverpool doesn't have that thing. But not for nothing, I like Liverpool's identity. I like their whole vibe. I like all their. I'm not a hater, but I think if I were to say what club I would prefer, I'd prefer Liverpool than Manchester United any day of the week.
100%.
But they're playing amazing. So explain to me just real quick, because I'm not so tactically smart. How does Arne Slot's tactics and how he makes them play compared to Klopp different?
I don't think he did. I just think maybe he had them press more. Mm-hmm. And I think he had the... Remember, he denied a couple teams.
Arne Slot did.
Yeah, he denied a couple teams to hey, I don't want to go with you. There was a lot of teams that didn't want or wanted him, but he chose not to.
Yeah.
And I think he just chose the team that he can fit in with the players, and they're already playing his style.
Right.
They're just a bit more aggressive, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
He rejected Chelsea.
Yeah.
He rejected...
I know he rejected Tottenham.
Yeah, he rejected Tottenham. He's a really good coach, man. Yeah,
he's fantastic.
I think they really... Dude, to come off of fucking Klopp and then get him... that's... Okay, so that's why I brought up... What are they going to look like next season? I think that's the most important thing.
It depends if they can get anybody.
I
think they will, obviously, but I don't want to jump the gun and be they're going to be scary.
Let's say they do. Let's say they bolster up. Let's say players are... I don't see Liverpool being a team that players don't want to go to. It's an attractive destination in terms of the winning. I think the way that they play is really exciting too. They're fun to watch. They're not a boring watch. They're fun to watch. So I think players will come. So tell me, players come, they bolster up, but I also want to throw in Arsenal and Man City bolster up too. What does next year look like with those two? Because I think if next year those two teams are going to be.
I think if Arsenal can get a forward that they've been needing, I don't think that's going to happen, but like an Isak,
right.
Or who else is a good forward right now that they can poach? Oh, that Gyökeres from Sporting. If they can get someone like that and maybe tighten up their midfield a little bit more, because I'm not a fan of Arsenal's midfield besides Declan Rice and Odegaard.
Yeah.
I think maybe it becomes closer.
Yeah.
You're not going to see this 15-point deficit.
You're right. I think if they bolster up and if they get the players that they can get.
Well, because then look at Man City, who they're going to be shopping for.
Right.
They lose KDB.
Right.
And they lose Bernardo Silva.
So they need a strong midfield.
Yeah. And
they're going to afford it.
I don't even know where they got Savinho from, and he looks fantastic.
Right. And they have the money.
money to do it, and they're not going to get punished apparently. So
yeah, okay, yeah. So I feel like Liverpool next season they're going to start strong again. I think they're going to get the players that they want to bolster up, and I think really Arsenal and the Man City are there.
I think between Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, it'll become closer. Yeah. And if Newcastle doesn't lose Isak and maybe bolsters up a little bit on them too, they come in that race too. They've been looking good too.
Well, at the end of the season's 4 games away, the top 5 are looking very close. Well, at least the last 3, 4, and 5, which is Newcastle, Man City, Chelsea, they're looking tight. So a lot of that depends also, them making it depends on and getting the players that they want depends on if they get champions.
There's going to be a little market shopping market this summer.
You think they're going to spend?
I think a lot of teams are going to spend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So at the end, though, what does Liverpool look like the next 5 years down the road? What kind of team do they look like?
I don't know. That's Van Dijk and Salah are up there in age.
Well, I'm saying with everything everything going their way. You're really hesitant to say that they're going to be good?
In the Premier League? Yeah, it's tough.
You think so?
I think so.
You think you don't give them...
If they've been playing for so long that you know what I mean? You could have said that maybe like 4 years ago. What do they look like in the next 5 years?
Sure.
Yeah, look. Okay. They won the league a couple times. They won the Champions League. You
don't think they can keep it going?
I don't think they can keep it going.
Right.
I think I'd give them next year.
Yeah.
But then I don't know what it looks like after that.
Right.
Van Dijk's up there in age.
If they can...
Salah's
but like I said, it all depends who they get. Yeah, if they bring in players and you can't tell the difference, they're going to be scary.
Yeah.
I think Arne Slot...
Look. I'll tell you this. Liverpool's been managed-wise, has been ran great compared to like Man U, even Tottenham.
Yeah.
Which...
Yeah. No, I agree.
You know what I mean? They've invested well. Yeah. Because then you got like players like Harvey Elliott.
Yeah.
Look great.
Yeah. I think they're gonna be a force because when you transition from coach to coach, there's a weird transition period. They the foot was on the gas the whole time. They didn't look like they shook for a minute. Sucks that they got out of the Champions League, but I just think PSG is like a crazy squad right now. So I don't put it on them. Those couple games that they had were like impossible. I mean, you can't even see what's happening there, but like I still don't feel like that really shuts them out about a lot of stuff. I think. Anyway, I think Liverpool's going to be like really scary the next couple of years, and we'll see. I guess time will tell.
Bye, everybody. All right. It's hot in there.